If you have a few acres of land, you probably reached a point where a standard riding lawn mower just isn't cutting it anymore. You need to move gravel, clear some brush, maybe plow some snow or dig a ditch. But do you really need a massive industrial farm tractor that costs as much as a luxury truck? Enter the subcompact tractor. They're small, they look like toys compared to the big rigs, and they usually sit right under 25 horsepower. But don't let the size fool you. Today we are breaking down exactly what these little beasts can do, why they might be the ultimate property management tool, and the one major mistake that people make when buying them. Hey everybody, welcome back. So let's just clear up some confusion real quick. What makes a tractor classed as subcompact versus just compact? Okay, so there's going to be two main features that are going to classify as your subcompacts. The main one is going to be the frame size, or the size of your tractor here, and the second one's going to be ground clearance. So now that we've gone over what makes these compact tractors subcompact, let's go over the three main features you're going to see on really a majority of subcompacts. One, obviously, is going to be your diesel engine. So subcompacts are going to typically range around that 21 to 25 horsepower range. Now that may not sound like a lot, but what you get out of that diesel engine is your torque. So your torque is going to give you that superior pulling power to gasoline engines. This is going to allow you to really pull those heavier implements, those brush cutters, those box blades, allow you to do that front end loader work. The second one is going to be four-wheel drive. So four-wheel drive will kind of piggyback on the diesel engine pulling power. It's going to give you better traction. It's going to allow you to get into some of that maybe softer mud or softer dirt there and really kind of get out of some of those areas. Four-wheel drive is going to be pretty much standard on these smaller tractors. And the third is going to be your three-point hitch PTO. Now PTO stands for power takeoff, and that's basically the spinning post in the back that is going to turn your implements. So again, your brush cutters, your tillers, all of that. Your PTO is really going to be the workhorse of your tractor. Now, if you're not doing front end loader work, you're typically going to be dragging something behind it. And on your PTO, specifically with these subcompacts, you sometimes are also going to have the option of mid PTO. These are going to be where your belly mowers come into play. That's going to allow you to run that attachment underneath the tractor. So say on a subcompact, Saturday you want to do your mowing, so you mow your yard, mow your small field. Sunday you want to move some gravel around with that box blade. You can kind of see where the versatility of these tractors really comes into play. The next question is, what can these tractors actually do? And really the function of these tractors is in the attachments. So with your three-point hitch, you're going to be able to run a variety of things like your brush cutters, your finish mowers, your box blades. Now remember, 5 horsepower for every foot is usually a good rule of thumb. So with a 20 to 25, that's going to allow you to run a 4 to 5 foot, really max on that. Anything 6 foot or more, you're going to want to step it up to maybe your compact tractor or even higher to that utility. But these can do a lot of stuff. And then also your front end is, most brands run the skid steer quick disconnect on the front end. That allows you to easily change out that front bucket for things like pallet forks and grab hooks. So, if you got something you need to grab and move, say brush or some small timber, these tractors are really going to do a great job of that. Now, a pro tip when you're running your front end loader and you're really lifting some heavier weight, on these tractors specifically, you're really going to need some weight disbursement. A lot of people will run fluid in the tires. Some places will do an antifreeze mixture in the tires. A lot of people on these will run, if you've already got a brush cutter back on the rear PTO here, that will help with the weight. If you're overloaded on the front end. Some people will even run what they call weight buckets. It's simply just a bucket that's heavy, that's going to counterbalance that weight, and that'll keep the back end from, because a lot of these tractors, specifically this Mahindra, you can lift on this one about 800 pounds on the front end, but when you're getting around that weight, you're going to really need to weight down your back end to keep that tractor from tipping forward. Okay, so we've gone over really the things that the subcompacts can do. Now let's go over maybe some of the limitations. And I said earlier in the video, the number one mistake that people make when buying subcompact tractors is underestimating the size of your project. So obviously you've got limitations on subcompact tractors. Your front end lift capacity is usually going to be limited around that 800 pounds or under. And a lot of things can come up to where you are going to be running out of muscle really quickly. Think about moving around a round bale, some larger water pallets, anything like that. Also, if you're going over rough terrain, you're needing to run over maybe some logs and some bigger rocks, you can risk really damaging the underside of your tractor on something like that. But there's a lot to love about these too. So is a subcompact tractor right for you? Well, if you own between 1 and 5 acres and you're needing to mow it on Saturday and move some gravel around on Sunday, then the answer is a resounding yes. But if you're going from 5 to 10 acres or more and you're needing it to do some bigger jobs, maybe pull a bigger attachment on the back, then you may need to step up a little bit into a compact or even a utilities tractor. And again, the number one regret that most people have when they're buying a tractor is they wish they would have went bigger, because work has a way of evolving into something a little bit more than it is today. So if you're looking at subcompact tractors and you're already close to being maxed out on it today, then the chances are tomorrow you're going to surpass that and then already be looking for another tractor. Also, if you already own a larger tractor, you may really benefit from one of these in doing some of those smaller jobs, maneuvering in some of those tighter spaces where you can't get in with your ag tractor or your utility tractor. So there's a lot to consider on these, and there's a big reason that all of these manufacturers are producing subcompacts at a record rate. So the Massey Ferguson, the Mahindra, Kubota, Deere, really everybody is producing subcompact tractors for that reason, is there's a huge need for it. And a lot of people are starting to realize that these tractors can do a lot of things that they didn't think they can do. They're more than just a heavier duty lawnmower tractor. It's basically, I like to say, it's a toddler that can bench press up to 800 pounds. So if you think about that, you can really do a lot of damage with something like that. And these are small enough to where you can fit in your garage. So anyways, guys, what do you think of the subcompact tractors? Which ones are you looking for? What are you needing them to do? And those of you that have experience with subcompact tractors or own one already, let me know down in the comments below which one you have experience with and maybe some issues that you've had with them. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. We'll see you on the next one.